King of the Land movie. I think so. Who told us that when a senior is passing by your what do you guys think about this? Because I honestly dislike it. And I also don't like being called madam. Call me Nyawira. Nyawira, I don't think this works. Nyawira, I'm not comfortable with ABCD. Nyawira, I would like and you say can you hear my tone? Nyawira, it's not like Nyawira, Nyawira. No, who told you that bosses should be the ones to command you and tell you what to do? I'm telling you guys, bosses and your employers are looking for people that will use their brain. Will use their brain. We don't want people that want us to guide them. We don't want to guide people. Nope. We want people that come to us and say, I've been observing one, two, three, and I think this is where we are going wrong. But the question is, how many people do we have here? If you're here and you're comfortable to go to your boss and say, I don't think you guys in the HR department are doing these things right. Who would do that if you're here? Do you have anybody? What do you guys think, Charity Maria, about the smiley faces, the fake smiles, and the madam, the those? Do you guys like it? I don't
Do
know.
you know, speaking about that, Nyawe, I've actually remembered
Mhm.
there's a time
Yeah.
during my employment back then, we used to have
Mm-hmm.
this one employee who thought
Mm-hmm.
that you see those senior management people
Mm-hmm.
fear them a lot. So
Yeah.
I was employed as an HR assistant, and this
Yeah.
guy need those people of sasa wewe unaniambia nini, and I'm on top of you. So I used to
Mm-hmm.
notice this guy will come to work drunk. He reeks of
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. He bullies people around. And now you see, the kind of boss I was working for never used to be in Kenya like akiwa Kenya, it's only like, yeah, ako Kenya, but akikuja kwa office, it's once in a blue moon. So you get these people
Yes.
have that luxury of he's not around. So one day I went
Yes.
and approached my boss. I told him, there's something I want to tell you. I've been seeing this and this. I've noticed this and this. This what happens. Can you imagine? My boss told me, Charity, I was just waiting for someone to tell me that. For
Mm-hmm.
someone to tell me that. Over
Mm-hmm.
6 years he has employed this person. No one has even had the guts to come and tell this person that. Even the HR
Yes.
manager. Do you know the
Yeah.
next morning I woke up to an letter telling me that I've been upgraded? Imagine. The
Evil too.
following morning, the evil
Speaking your
true
mind.
because of speaking your mind. And that's
Yes.
what bosses want. Bosses want
Yeah.
someone who doesn't fear them. Bosses want someone who can talk, someone who can share their thoughts, someone who can maybe give them an idea of
Yeah.
uplifting the company, or a new idea of getting money. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
bosses need
Yes.
people. Yeah,
Yes.
bosses need people who think outside the box, people who can bring more money or find ways to bring more money. And trust you me, they're always willing to listen. Willing to listen. It's even better wakwambie, um, okay, we can talk at this time, channel with whatever they were doing just to listen to you. As long as it's something making sense and it's something you have done research upon, they will always listen
Yeah.
to you. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So what Charity is saying, and I was saying it's time we stopped the fake smiles, the favors, and approached our bosses with challenges and solutions because employers don't have it all. Okay? They have complex challenges that are not even complex to you. But the challenge is who in that organization is willing to stand up and say, this and this is not working, and I have a solution for you. Do you know bosses rarely get that? Ukimwona unapiga kona, unapita pande ya choo, mwingine akimwona hata karibu aanguke, akikohoa. Why? Why? And what you
Or
don't know is they are watching. They are seeing it. So in their mind, they're like, who you? Me. I don't want to say
Or
this.
even,
Let me not say it.
or
Me, I
even
call
when
them
you come
robots.
in the,
Yes.
or even when you
Sorry,
come in
Khadija.
the morning, I'm saying, or even when you come in the morning, just go say hi to your boss. Hi, how are you? Are you okay? Yeah, do you need anything? Something just like just create a conversation with your boss. Trust you me. Let's say kama kuna siku PA wake or the secretary or the secretary hatakuwa, you will be the first person that boss will come to telling you, by the way, Charity, I need this and this. Can you get it for me? And trust you
Yes.
me, him or her doing that, one day it will come to repay you actually, kabisa.
Yes.
They will come
Yes.
like they will come give you a favor that you even did not even expect from somewhere else.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. I had there's a lady here who's just made a request. That's Nyakwar or Gal. Nyakwar, how are you?
I'm good. How are you,
Yes. Would
Nyawira?
you like? Hi, Nyakwar. Would you like to make some contribution to this conversation?
Okay, my contribution is okay. It's good
Yes.
to have a good relationship with your boss, but also there's limit because it depends also with the person as a boss. Sometimes you find that we have some bosses. Someone just want to know about your mind. They want to get you closer to them so that it reaches a point. Now they find how to oppress you. You become open to them and they don't give you that in turn. I'm sorry for the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Having
It's
babies
okay.
around.
We are
So
mothers. It's okay.
yeah. So at times we also need to look the kind of relationship we have as much as we want to maintain that work relationship. So we
Yes.
just maintain professionalism. At the same time, we ensure that we don't go too much into their ways and they don't come too
Yes.
much into our ways. And I think that can be a very good working environment for both of
Mm.
us.
Put some
Mm.
boundaries, eh? And in this case,
Mhm.
when you're talking about bosses, there's the aspect of a manager who's also an employee, and there is a director or an investor. So when I talk about bosses, I mean investors and the people that have put their money into that business, not the manager, not the person who is in charge of it, because of course there could be a conflict of interest sometimes, eh? But the owners of the company, the only thing they want is somebody that they can trust. So, Nyakwar, from what you said, are you addressing managers or the investors in this case?
The investors. One thing
Okay.
I will course, as much
Mm-hmm.
as we are looking for a job, we should not narrow our minds that we should get employed like forever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
bosses pays you, they pay you so that you cannot achieve your dream. You
Okay.
really work for them so that they achieve their dreams, but as you as a person, they don't want you to achieve that dream. That's why they continue paying you, and when you want to quit the job, they tell you, I'll add
Mm-hmm.
you some salary. You see, I'll add you something on top of that. So we should have
Mm-hmm.
open minds that if we are employed, we should look onto something. Actually, I've been looking forward to have a business, only that some challenges on capital, but being employed is good, for a start. But we should not just stay there comfortable waiting for that boss for everything. We should work out to see how we can develop ourselves, because it also help you to get more to know on something else. And remember, you also having kids. These kids tomorrow,
Yeah.
they won't depend on you as somebody who is employed. At least when you leave a legacy, when you're leaving job, you say, I have some investments my kids can depend on or
Yeah.
something. So
Yeah.
I think it is good, as much as we are looking for employment, or as much as we are loyal to our bosses, we should just put our minds out there, tutafute kakitu tufanye. At least tukue na
Watu
dream.
wachape biz.
Tuchape
Watu
biz
wachape
by
biz.
the way. Hata kama ni kidogo, mi naona if you are employed, hata kama ni kidogo, if you can get a loan, make something, hata kama unaweza pata mtu akushikilie so that ile siku uko off unajishikilia hapo. So boss anaweza amka tu anytime siku moja kwambie the job is over, you are no longer, your services are no longer needed in this company. Sasa utaanzia wapi? And this way our people tunapata unemployment rate iko juu sana because of this. Tukiwa shule mtu akwambii like uende ufanye hizo vitu huko nje, unaona, inafaa tu wewe mwenyewe unajituma kivyako, ndio you create employment, also you create for somebody. Na wewe pia ukiemploy mtu unamwambia also strive to work hard so that upate kitu wewe pia ujishikilie. We have employers on this platform. Msikue mean, mwambie tu mwenye uko naye, at least hata kama unaweza pata kakibanda uweke, it will be good. Kama unakuja kazi siku yenye uko off ama siku yenye uko holiday ama leave, usikae tu, unaweza fanya kitu because some people mtu ako na idea yes, lakini anaona hakuna mwenye ananipatia advice or support, unaona. Kuna wenye anaona mtu akimwambia hivyo anaona kumbe I'm worth doing that, lakini asipoambiwa unapata bado tu wako chini. Yeah.
Okay. No, nakubaliana na wewe. Charity, what do you think about her comment?
Nyawe, there's something she has said that I've remembered with a previous encounter I had, that unamka asubuhi unaambiwa kazi imeisha. Do you know people, it's only us HR who knows about labor laws and employee act. There's a friend of mine who called me akaniambia, Charity, I've been nimeamka asubuhi nikaambiwa nisikuje job yangu imeisha. Do you know you're not supposed to be fired like that? No, and I think people don't know that. If you are working under a contract, a renewable contract, you are supposed to be given a 30 days notice, and if you don't, you are supposed to sue these people. It's lawfully according to you are supposed to. Uwezi tu amka unaambiwa usikuje kazi leo unless you are a casual person who gets paid daily. But mtu kona contract yako, your boss is not supposed to kuamka akwambie you are not supposed to come to work today, you are fired. You aren't. According to Employment Act and labor laws, your boss is supposed to give you a 30 days notice and still pay you for that 30 days notice. You get. And if you are working under probation, you're supposed to be terminated with a 7 days notice. And I think this is something that people don't know and bosses take advantage of. I used to have another boss. When we are firing people, I tell him, we are supposed to give this person a 30 days notice. So my boss could tell me, hajui hiyo, si hajui hiyo. Yes, so let's just pay him. You get. People take advantage of employees who don't know anything about HR, who don't know that nikiambiwa nimefutwa job leo, always futwa job leo, unapatiwa 30 days notice. That's if you are under a 1-year contract or a permanent contract. You're supposed to be given a 30 days notice and paid for that 30 days notice. And if you have worked for that company for more than 1 year, you're supposed to be given something called severance pay. That is 15 days for every one year. So and that boss should pay you your final dues. And that's something I think employees we should let people know, because bosses are taking advantage of that. Seriously.
So on that issue, I agree with you, Charity, 100%. But the problem comes in because most people are so desperate for jobs, they don't have contracts in the first place.
Yeah.
They don't have contracts in the first place, so there is no ground of argument, there is no ground for suing, there is no ground for anything. So, what I would encourage people at first is every job you are employed, please get a contract. Itisha
And
hiyo
you that
contract. And most especially for those jobs ama those employers wenye hawana HRs, like the people who employ you directly, like for example wewe ni personal assistant ama wewe ni cleaner ama wewe ni secretary na hiyo ofisi haina HR, for those ones make sure you have a contract. Otherwise hao ndio huwa kinaramba baadaye juu huyo mtu ataamka tu akwambie utakuja and there's nothing you can do about it. Ataamka akwambie hakulipi and there's nothing, because there's nothing that is binding. And in Kenya, the only thing that can help you out is something that is written. A written document is what binds. Otherwise, hata kama mliongea masaa matano na hakuna kitu mliandika mkasign, is null and void. Ukienda kuambia hivyo koti ama labor court, cause there's a labor office, then there's the employment court. Ukienda kuambia hivyo, as long as hiyo kitu haikuandikwa, then it will be null and void. So I would urge all of you, mkiandikwa job anywhere, please ask for your offer letters, appointment letters, ask for them. Number 2, now when you have the appointment letters, now you can now follow the procedure Charity is talking about. It is, but I also think, ebu Nyawira niambie, mtu mwenye hana contract, si Employment Act inamsimamia. That's what I think. Mtu mwenye hana contract, Employment Act inakusimamia kwa sababu in the Employment Act, all those things Charity is talking about, they are there. They are written. So pia ebu endeni mdownload Employment Act. It is everywhere. Mkidownload kwa internet, it is there. Download it, read it, know your rights, know the boundaries. Hizo Nyakwar anasema, know where to put the boundaries, know how to maneuver. Because I will tell you, there was a place I was employed. I was not employed as a HR. I was just employed as a normal person. But I realized in that place, those people work on holidays with no double pay and with no day off. Those people work from 8 to 10 p.m. with no overtime. Those people, in case, for example, of yako, if it land on a holiday, like for example, of yako ikwe on Christmas Day, then hauna off your wiki. So now, me as a person, I cannot work in such an environment. For me, that's so toxic because I know the laws. So when I went to tell the manager, of course, it'll create a lot of conflict, and that's why I understand when you say kuna difference ya managers na the owner of the company. So I had not known the rank, so I went and told the manager, and then it caused a lot of conflict. I almost lost my job. What saved me is I went and told the owner of the company. Kwanza nilienda kumtafuta na huko nje, hata si kwa kampuni, na huko nikamwambia, now look here, ukifanya hizi vitu zenye zinafanywa kwa hii kampuni, if watu wa leba wakakuja kucheck, wewe ndo utashikwa, si our managers, cause them they don't know. And for sure, mi nilitoka hiyo job cause I could not stay in that environment, but I followed it up, and a year later all those things were changed. So what am I saying? It's good for you guys to know your rights. Ukiwork on holiday unafaa kulipwa twice your daily wage. Ukifutwa kama vile Charity anasema, unafaa kulipwa 1 month in lieu of notice ama upewe 30 days. So I think what I can say, please download the Employment Act. All those things ziko hapo. Msome so that you know your rights, so that mtu asitake advantage of you.
Mm-hmm. Good one. Good one. There was what's her name? What is your name? Acha nitafute kwa comment section. I too jina hapa ni ngumu, uko tu hapa nimekuongeza. Anasema true me, I've worked somewhere for 3 years without a contract. Tuliamka one day tukaambiwa job imekwisha. The reason why nimekuleta hapa, nataka kusikia story yako. I want to know, what were you paid? You know, Maria has just talked about this and what you are entitled to. Charity also mentioned the same. In case you're terminated, I want people to learn what you are entitled to. And remember, there are caps hapa kila mahali, okay? So Ivy, thank you, Ivy. So Ivy, what were you paid? Don't mention the name of the company. We're not here to tarnish anybody's company. Businesses are suffering. People are suffering. We're not here to mess anybody's brand. I just want to know what exactly happened and what were you paid? Just for because I want people to learn. If you're comfortable to share, Ivy.
Yeah, I can share.
Mm.
So, I was working with, actually, it's a government job. I worked for 3 years.
Mm.
So we were requesting for contracts every time. Tuna request, wanatuambia ngojeni, 1 year ikaisha, 2 years,
Mm.
3 years. Bado
Mm-hmm.
contract haijakuja. So like, I think pia kitu ilituentice ni the salary that we were being paid. Around 50, let me quote, 50 to 110.
Okay.
So walikuwa wanaenda waki-increase. So, I think that one ilitu haribu akili, but we were working under so much pressure yenye
Mm-hmm.
sidhani kama sidhani kama any company saizi wakinipea job naweza nikakosa kufanya job now, but
Mm.
I regret because I
Mm-hmm.
think ilinifanya nika waste so much of my time.
Mm.
And they were promising us every time ati tutapatiwa PNP every time. So that
Mm-hmm.
one ilitufanya tukiwa ile tu kuwa fooled, not having the
Mm-hmm.
contract, and then one day so salaries zikaanza kuchelewa, then we were being paid in cash. Unapatiwa bashi yako kama ni 70,000, 100,000 in cash, unalipwa hivyo, and that's a government job. Unapatiwa in cash,
Mm.
ukimaliza ni hivyo. So
Yeah.
after these 3 years, just one day tunaamka asubuhi, then we were being told, oh, we have a meeting. Hivyo they told us, oh, let's not report tomorrow. Hatuko watu wachache, let me quote like 100, 300 people. Let's
Wow.
not report tomorrow, they'll communicate. Hadi wa leo. So like, I think contract is just the best thing because hakuna kitu tungeza washika nayo, cause literally hakuna kitu tumesign nao. If at all tunaenda offices za labor, what do we have to like say we've been working with them? Nothing. That one
Mm.
taught me a lesson, a very good lesson. Wacha hata nipatiwe
Were you
contract ya
paid?
1 month.
You are not paid.
And I think Nyawe,
Yeah.
Kidogo tu Maria, it's Charity. Were you paid, Ivy? Did you
The
get
time
any
we were,
payment?
the time we were working, the 3 years.
No, no, no. After termination, what
Paid
was paid?
nothing. Yeah.
Were you paid at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month, katikati ya mwezi? At what
Kwanza
point were you terminated?
tulitoka kama like a month inaanza, a new month. So they'd not paid us our dues for 2 months. They told us watatuitia salaries. So they called us baadaye, like in batches, you go pick your salaries.
Mm-hmm.
Hivo. Yeah.
But they paid. At last they paid, eh?
Yeah.
And what did they pay? Just a salary or were you given any other benefits?
Just a salary, no benefits.
Do you know what you lost?
Sana.
Okay. Do you know what you
Yeah.
lost? And I also want to hear from you people in the comment section. What should you be paid if you're terminated after working for any organization 1 year and above for over a year? What should you expect? All right. as the final dues. We call them final dues. Pesa yako ya mwisho, eh? What should you get? I want to know, because I want to know if you know. Sindio? So, Ivy, let me know. Ivy, do you know what you lost? Do you mind mentioning what you lost? Because I know nikiambia Charity na Maria watakwambia. But I want to know from you. Charity, Ivy, what did you lose? What did they not pay you? Ivy, kama unanipata. Okay.
I think wacha at least HRs watupatie the hint so that to know, so that in case somebody apatikane kwa such situation, what mtu amepoteza at
Okay.
that extent. Yeah.
All right. I totally agree. Hapo utaelimishwa kabisa, utalan, but I want to read what has been shared on the comment section. Nasijua Charity anasikia kujibu sana. Acha nisome comment alafu twende. Kuna mtu anasema
Laughing
ulipaka
cause
sa. Yes.
I'm laughing because people actually in the comment section know. They know.
Yes. Kuna service pay, kuna mtu anasema service pay. Mwingine anasema leave days zenye hujaenda, huyo ni Grace. Stella anasema certificate of service. Hakuna yenye ni makosa, yenye ni wrong. Pending leave days, hakuna yenye iko wrong. Mwingine anasema nini? Notice period. If the departure is abrupt. If you're supposed to be paid service pay, I am not wrong, it's service charge, all right. Sawa sawa. Aya, groups of termination. Okay, I don't know what you mean. So Charity, ebu jibu. What did she
Okay.
lose?
Okay. So in a final due Excel sheet. Excel sheet yako inafai kuanza na accumulated leave days. Leave days zako ni ngapi? Kwa Employment Act, everyone earns 1.75 in a month. So if you calculate that in a year, you are supposed to be given 21 days. That is according to the Employment Act. But kuna wenye wanapeana 30. So kama kwa hizo leave days zako umebakisha 15, that employer should pay you those 15 days. Okay. If you are working in that company if you signed a contract for 1 year, for 3 years, you are supposed to be given a 30 notice period days, and you're supposed to be paid those 30 days. Then you're supposed to be there's a pay called severance pay. Severance pay is that is pay given after you have worked for the same company for a whole year. You're supposed to be paid 15 working days for that. Yes, I don't think kuna kitu ingine nimeacha. And then maybe kama the other things maybe anaweza kutoa ni maybe NHIF ya that month kama alikuwa na wakata NHIF or any deductibles apart from that. But someone needs to know that ukifutwa lazima upatiwe final dues zako. Na lazima maybe if kama ni ajielewa, the HR atakuita kukalishe chini akwambie your final dues inakaa hivi, are you okay with it, do you have any problem with it, so that ukijua next month payroll yako itakaa hivi na hivi na hivi. Yeah, I don't maybe anything else ni match. Oh yes, and there's pension. Pension now that will determine the percentage in which the company has, because different companies have different pensions. And people need to know pension haimaanishi utapewa ukiwa 65 years old. As much as that company was paying you pension, ukitoka they're supposed to give you your pension. Yeah.
Thank you, Charity. I want Maria to also elaborate on this bit, whereby she said that she did not have anything to prove in a court of law, not even at the labor office. There was nothing to prove that you work for that company. So, Maria, hebu mwambie angetumia nini kupata hiyo pesa yake. Have you guys heard what Ivy and the counterpart, and these are 300 people, Did you hear what they lost? So now imagine, Ivy says they were earning some good money, okay? And there were 300 people. So you'd imagine that company, how much does that company owe these people? But because of
No,
lack of knowledge, they left it behind. I want you to understand what exactly you miss out, what you lose. Sometimes unatoka job, unafuta job, unakuja unasafa, unachapwa na life. Na hiyo kampuni mali umeacha, umewachia pesa zako zote. Lack of knowledge.
yeah,
Aya,
if I
Maria,
can
tujibu.
on that, just a minute,
Yes,
Maria.
okay.
I think that company was very brave. Hawakuwa like wanataka kuacha traces behind, because if they pay via bank then kutakuwa na traces, so which means these bosses knew what they were planning initially, or they didn't want to have such cases with labor laws. So what was the best way? Let's entice with people with cash. Definitely hata ukilipwa na cash sai, you will feel so good because hakuna story ya transaction or anything else. And then contracts. I normally tell people the first week of your new job, ask for your contract. Ask for your contract, and take time to read through it. Read your contract from the start to the end. You might be having some other things inside there na hujasoma contract yako, and then 2 months 3 months into the job, haya, you are like, haya, was this thing
Mm.
even in the contract? Kitakuramba
Mm-hmm.
ushtuke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good one. Maria?
Uulize au
I
mahitaji
think
kitu kingine hapa kabla hujaendelea. You find that
Yes.
okay, hizi kama si hapa, mi niko health sector, but sometimes unapata mtu anakuita ufanye kazi, maybe hiyo contract mna sign tu vizuri, so unapata the first month this person anakupatia tu salary vizuri, second month anaweza kupea vizuri, third month askip akwambie hiyo ina combine na hiyo ya next month. Ikifika next month sasa anakuambia I'm going to pay you half of last month and then this month with whole of this month. So in this case, what should you do with this person? Because this thing has been affecting so many people. Mtu anaingia tu kwa contract vizuri, anaelewana na mtu, and then unapata mostly in private hospital, mtu anaanza kuambia si unaona busy iko chini and things are not going well, sasa just accept what we are doing. Na saa hiyo imagine you have things to do, kuna watoto nini nini. In this case, what should you do with this person?
All right. Maria?
so first I'll address hiyo ya kukosa evidence. Please ensure when you are employed you get your contract, number one. Number two, kampuni inakulipa cash, hiyo ni red flag. You're supposed to be paid largely through the bank. Watu wengine wamekuwa digital wanalipa mpesa, which is still fine because you can get the mpesa statement, but the best inakuanga bank. Because even when your salary goes through the bank, there are some other advantages. But kama pia bank iko na hidden charges, you can use mpesa because at least unaweza prove ulikuwa una work for this person with the mpesa statements. Number three, kwa hiyo contract you should be very keen what is written. Don't just take a contract kwa sababu imeandikwa. It should not be ati imeandikwa tu you have been employed for this long and they pay. It should have a lot of details. It should have what are your leave days, what is the dress code, time yako ya kufika job na ya kutoka, how do they handle holidays, what do they consider as holidays there. Like it should have a lot of things, unaona, such that even when you present it or when you are contesting, like sasa hivyo vile unasema about hiyo bit ya kulipwa inafaa kuwa explicit. Inafaa kuambiwa you will be paid 20,000 every 30th day of the month or every first day of the month or every 5th day of the month. so that now kama amepitisha hiyo 5th day na ndo imeandikwa kwa contract, you are able to go and speak and say kwa contract niliambiwa 1 2 3 but this is happening. You have grounds to complain or grounds to ask questions. So hiyo contract isikuwe tu kitu imeandikwa pay and maybe most of them zinaandikangwa salary na the first day you joined, and it should be so elaborate. Inafaa kuwa na vitu mingi sana. It is not just that. And then kuna mtu niliona hapo akiuliza kama ni yeye ana resign. If you are resigning, just like the employer is giving you 30 days, you should give 30 days. If you're resigning, hawezi amka tu pia wewe uambie watu umeenda. It's not possible. Hata wewe unaweza kuwa sued. So just like the employer is giving you 30 days ya notice, pia wewe unafaa kupeana 30 days ya notice, na kama wewe ni casual unafaa kupatiana 7 days or 2 weeks depending on whether you have a CBA or you're following the Employment Act. Then also kama utaamka tu siku moja uambie haufanyi kazi, then you're not supposed to be paid. Kuna hiyo pesa for the employer anakuanga na 2 options. They pay you in lieu of notice, so ni wa skip notice wakulipe. Ni wa skip notice wakulipe pesa, wakulipe 2 months badala ya 1 month, ama wakupe notice period ukae ulipwe. So even you on the other side, in case you wake up and you decide not to go for work and you had a contract, they will not pay you and they will not be sued. They are on the right. So please watch out on that. And then also there in that termination there should be legit reasons. Termination sio kitu unaamka siku moja unaambiwa umeterminatiwa. There should be a hearing. There should you don't just wake up and you are told at now we have given you 30 days notice, now you will not be coming in the next 30 days. No, lazima kwanza wakuambie kwa nini wanakuterminate, then kama ni kitu unafaa kujitetea wakupatie time ya hearing, kukuwe na time ya investigate if need be. It's not just something that comes up ati sasa, unless is a gross misconduct, and the gross misconducts should be clearly written in the contract so that nikikuja kama nimelewa, hiyo ni gross misconduct, ninafutwa kazi immediately. You see, that's why I'm advising you guys to go read the Employment Act. It has all those things so that now when you have a gross misconduct, hiyo unakuwa summarily dismissed. Summary dismissal, unadismissiwa hapo on the spot when you have a gross misconduct. But otherwise, if it is the normal misconduct, maybe performance, maybe lateness, maybe if it is those, then you're supposed to have a hearing. Kama ni conflict, unajua watu wanaendeananga sana jobs. If it's conflict, if it's politics, office politics, you're supposed to be given a legit reason why you're being terminated. There should be investigations if need be. Kama huyo mwenye alikuwa amesema story ya fraud, there should have been investigation to ascertain that there was fraud indeed and she was involved. And then kunafaa kukuwa na hearing. You are supposed to defend yourself. You're supposed to be given a chance to defend yourself and explain what happened. Sio mtu tu anaamka anadecide.
Poleni. Tunakungoja Maria. Leo mtalan tu sana. Hope you guys have a pen and a paper, and I hope you have your questions. So please write all your questions here. Tutajibu zote. Maria, are we able to have you back? Kabla Maria arudi, I have a question for you, Ivy. Were you paid via bank or were you paid cash? Because you said this is a government entity. So how were the salaries paid? Add you back. But uko
How
live.
are the
Acha nipite.
paid? Add you back.
Mhm. Yes, Ivy. Mlikuwa
We
mnalipwa
were
vipi,
being
Ivy?
paid cash.
You're being
We
paid
were being paid
cash.
in cash. Yeah,
Wait a
I'm
minute.
tempted, but
Mm.
let me not
Don't
talk about
mention.
like which company it was, but we were just being paid in cash. If you have
Government.
your 150,000, you'll get in cash. Yes, but
Wait
it
a
was being
minute.
managed
Government
by. Let me
inalipwa
not
hadi
say.
cash.
I think people will. Watu wanaweza wakajua ni wapi. They were being managed by
Ukisema.
another.
Mhm.
Kuna walikuwa managed na some other guys, private people